You're like a grand teacher now because
Yes.
you have children of children that you taught.
Exactly, I have.
Yeah.
And when we moved into the new building, they gave me a classroom, and I've stayed in that same classroom since then.
And so when is like your last day? Is it May something?
It's May something, I don't know exactly when.
Oh, I would have had it written on the wall. Today I have Gerri Russell, Hennessey's elementary school teacher for like ever, it seems like.
Seems like.
Yes,
it
and
does.
you've taught, and we were joking before, like you're like a grand teacher now because
Yes.
you have children of children that you taught.
Exactly, I have.
Yeah. Is that a good thing, or is it like, yeah, I know your mother?
Both. I've had some that's like, oh, yeah, I had your mom or I had your dad.
Yeah.
And some I've had their brothers or sisters, and so I call them their names instead of I call them the brother or sister's name instead of.
And it doesn't get your points.
No, it doesn't.
You got to establish your own footing.
Yeah, I had a little boy last year, and I kept calling him his dad's name, and he couldn't understand why until his dad told him that I had him, and I knew him really well, and.
There must have been some kind of resemblance there, or
Very much so.
a terrible flashback. Yeah.
No, very much so. The way they talk, the way they walk, you know, things that
That's
they say.
funny how they you can pick them out of a crowd almost. Yeah.
Yes, you can.
But you're not from Hennessey.
No, I'm
So
not from
where
Hennessey.
where did life begin, and where did you go to school and all that kind of thing?
I grew up in Buffalo, Oklahoma, which is
Wow.
close to Woodward, or
Yep.
30 miles from Woodward.
Mm-hmm.
And went to high school there. Went to college at Oklahoma Baptist University in Shawnee.
Mm-hmm.
Got my teaching degree.
And you went for teaching.
I went for teaching, yes. And then didn't have a job when I graduated, but back then a lot of people didn't apply for jobs until like March or April. And Hennessey was one of the places I applied, and then I decided, nah, that's too far from home. And Don Bricks called me and said, do you have a job yet? And I said, no. And my dad said, you're going.
Leave.
Yeah, and so they offered me the job, and I came to Hennessey in August of 1981.
Wow. Well, that's a year after I got here. So
Yeah,
you were just,
probably.
wow. Yes, I arrived in January of 80. So, wow.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So we've been here about the same amount of time.
Yes, so you're like embedded.
Yes,
Yes.
pretty much so.
And then somewhere along the line, you got married and had children, and
Yes, in 1989 I got married to Bert.
Yep.
And then we eventually had two kids, Grayson and Madison.
Mm-hmm.
And
Did you teach either of them?
no, thank goodness. Thank goodness there were plenty of teachers to teach them besides me.
Well, and so it's, I think another interesting note is that I know my wife Lisa taught at school with you, and I think you had something to do with us meeting. That's a whole other story. But you've never changed classrooms.
I've never changed classrooms. When I first came, we were in the old school building, which is the town library.
Right.
And the other part. And so I was there a year, and then part of the next year until we moved into the new building. And when we moved into the new building, they gave me a classroom, and I've stayed in that same classroom since then.
Wow. Because I remember when Lisa and I were dating before she retired, that we were changing classrooms every year.
Yes.
It was grab all the stuff and move down the hall or somewhere, and so that's fortunate that you were able to.
Yeah. So when I get ready to retire, it's going to be like a garage sale or something, try to get rid of all the stuff.
So yeah, I mean, have you you need to carve your initials in the wall somewhere? So you were the first teacher in that room in the new building.
Yes.
Wow. Do you remember when that was?
I think it was like maybe April of '83. I know that they were working on it the first year I was here, so I'm assuming it was in April.
Okay.
I don't really remember because my brother had had a car wreck, and I was traveling back and forth to Enid every night to the hospital. So it's like I don't even remember moving into the new building other than we're here.
Oh, wow. And things have changed a lot. like, so what has changed the most from when you started to now?
I'm going to say, well, there's a couple of things. How much they expect kids to know now in first grade and going out of first grade. When I first came, it was like adding numbers to 10 and reading short vowel and long vowel words. Now it's like, oh, let's make them do adding to 10 and double digit addition and lots of other things in math. Reading has changed probably the most. It's like short vowels, long vowels, vowel teams, and I mean, just they expect a lot more. Writing, they expect a lot more than when I first started.
And then what about classroom environment? I know that there's been a lot of changes in that with that.
Yes. When I first came, kids, I mean, they had respect for teachers. I mean, their parents expected them to. If you had a problem with a kid, you just pulled them out in the hall and spanked them. And
yeah, you don't do that anymore.
You don't do that anymore. And it's not like you spanked them hard.
Sure.
That was probably one of the funniest things as a first-year teacher. I had a little ping pong paddle, but it wasn't a ping pong paddle. It was one of those that you hit the ball.
Yep.
And so I pulled a boy out and spanked him, and it broke the paddle. Oh, no. So I know I wasn't spanking very hard, but you know, they're pretty flimsy. After that, my dad and I made a nice big long one.
Nice swatter.
A swatter.
Yep.
But I haven't ever had to use that.
Wow.
Other than birthday spankings. I do give my kids birthday spankings. And but I don't give them hard. But they love it.
Wow. And then I know curriculum changes have just been enormous. You know,
Yes.
back when it was, you know, books and blackboards, and now it's, you know, computers and TV screens, if you would. Yeah.
That has been a big change. It's been a big help, but there's also some downfalls to it, like when they don't work. Yeah.
Technology.
I mean, technology. I mean, and like computers for first graders, when they're working great, it's wonderful. When it's not, they don't know what to do with them, and I don't know what to do with them either. I mean, they don't want me taking Todd's place, being the IT guy, because it's like, I don't know how to get this
turn it off and turn it back on again. Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of what we do.
That's the extent of my knowledge with that. Yeah.
Yeah, and then having smart boards has been wonderful. I mean, because you can pull things up for the kids to see and experience, and
it's much more interactive too.
Yes, they are interactive, and there's just so much you can do with the smart board. Those parts are wonderful.
You know, when I grew up, well, you probably remember this too, that the best day was when they rolled the AV card in with the TV on it.
Oh, I went to a poor school. I don't even think we had an AV card.
You didn't have a TV. Yeah, they would. You knew that we're going to see something or do something different if they brought the TV in. Mm-hmm. And now they have a TV every day. Everything's animated and interactive. And
yeah, I mean, you can just pull whatever you want up on like having a computer on your.
Yeah.
Which reminds me of when I first started. We would every Friday, first graders, the first grade teachers, we would order films from the AV department, reel-to-reel films, and show them reel-to-reel films.
With a projector.
With a projector.
Yep.
And the kids would sit there and watch them, you know, and when you finished one, you'd hear it go, and then you'd put the next one on.
Everybody be quiet, we're going to change the film.
Yeah, exactly. Or it'd break in the middle, or burn, you know, through, so.
Well, that was our TV, too.
Yeah,
I remember the films. And then did you use those, I don't know what you call them, the little slide things that would go beep, and you turn the slide?
I didn't in first grade. They might have in other grades, but not in first grade.
Well, they were essentially a strip of film, and you would...
and then it was black, and did it have like a recording that went with them?
Yes.
Yeah, we had those, but I didn't ever use them.
You didn't use them very much. Well, I got in trouble a lot because as those advanced, the recording made a beep sound, and it would automatically change the thing. Well, I got really good at making that beep sound. So I was like I would make it go 5 slides ahead, and, you know, so I was always at the principal's office for messing with that. The something that surprised me when I moved to Oklahoma was the teacher-children relationship. You know, where I went to school, the teachers we weren't friends. They went home, that was done. And here, it's very different. You interact with them off time and on time, and it's much more of a personal type situation.
Yes, it's like many of the children that I have, I won't say many, several of the children I have, I also go to church with. And then I also teach pre-K and kindergarten for about as many years as I've taught school. And so I have them from the time they're little, and then when I see them in class, and then just knowing their parents, I mean, it's a good experience.
Yeah, well, and also small town doesn't.
Yeah, small town.
You can't get away unless you live somewhere else. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what would you say your biggest challenges have been? Not even talking about COVID. We'll talk about that in a minute. But you know, what are some of the issues and challenges that have come with this?
Oh boy, that's a tough one. Teaching itself is just challenging because you want every kid to do well. And there are some kids that, you know, blow the top off, and they're so easy to work with. And then you have those that it's like they struggle. Either it's because they have a second language, or they just have like a reading difficulty. And that is the biggest challenge. Like this year I have some that the reading's pretty good, but understanding number concepts. And some days I feel like I'm banging my head against the wall, trying to get them to understand.
Find a way for them to relate.
To relate and to understand the math. But some kids, they're just not ready for that yet. And so you're trying to push them into something that they're not ready for. And it's really hard.
Yeah, I don't remember learning to count to 10 in that far back. You know, it was, and then I moved, I think in like second grade, I moved to a whole nother part of the state, and that was another culture shock, and I crashed and burned. And so by the time I graduated, it was like, please leave, you know, have a diploma.
So, you know, working with kids with difficulties is probably the hardest part of teaching.
Are doing a better job with, I know my wife Lisa was special ed, and it wasn't, in some cases it wasn't used properly. You know, it was a language problem rather than a learning disorder. And they just really didn't know how to funnel those. Has that gotten any better?
I think it has, because, I mean, now they have to be tested. I don't remember a long time ago about them actually testing kids. They just said, oh, this kid needs extra help, and sent them. Now they have to be tested and show that they actually are on like a slow learner ability and stuff, or have some other physical need that they need that help. So our kids that are dual language get extra help with our Title I programs and stuff that we have.
Has that gotten better? Because I know back in the day, I hear stories from some of the people that have interned with us and things. I won't mention names, but it was first day of kindergarten. It was like, okay, get out of the car, and with no English.
Yeah.
And stumbling and wandering around and following kids until they just had to figure it out. And so I'm assuming now with our dual language parents, the children are a little bit better when they get to you, or is that still?
By the time they get to first grade, they're better because most of them have had 2 years of
preschool and kindergarten, yeah.
And it also helps that we have a lot of paras and aides in the pre-K and kinder that are dual language that can help them understand. So it has gotten better, but a lot of those that just come not knowing any English, they pick up really quick if they speak it. I mean, you know what I'm saying? If they learn it.
Yeah, it's something about being that young.
Yes.
You know, I would just, okay, cue cards is all you're going to get, but I don't know what you're doing. So then COVID happened.
Oh, yes.
So what did that do?
That was probably the toughest year to teach because, I mean, we just picked up and left for spring break and then didn't come back. And the last 9 weeks of first grade, I don't know about other grades, but first grade is when they're finally beginning to catch on. And all of a sudden, they have no teacher to direct instruction, even though we did, online learning and stuff.
I know Dr. Woods did, because I was really into that with Dr. Woods, and he worked really hard at getting the tools to allow that at-home stuff and things like that. But I imagine with that age group, even it was.
And then when we came back the next year, having to wear masks and be separated, and then if kids were around somebody that had COVID, then they couldn't come back for so many days. And so they were missing lots of school, which meant they were missing a lot of direct instruction. And it was hard on those kids that first year back.
I remember whole basketball games getting canceled, and it was a mess. It was a really mess.
Yes, it was.
So, do you are you helping new teachers? Are you doing any mentorship type thing? And I go into school now and I can't determine the teachers from the high school kids sometimes because they look so young. Is that a part of anything that you're bringing to the younger ones?
I am not this year, but I have in recent years. I had a high school student last year that's wanting to go into elementary teaching in my classroom. And then the year before that, I had one, and she was a senior. When they're seniors, they get to intern for 2 hours. And she would come the beginning of the day and the end of the day, and I would make her sit there with kids and help them with their reading, and then help them with their math, and just things that you don't really get when you're student teaching. And seeing how kids with difficulties, whether it be, they're hyperactive or they just can't learn, have them work with them and see this is what it's really like in a classroom.
Yeah.
So.
Welcome to the real world.
Yeah, welcome to the real world. That's right.
Well, I imagine like any college you can only get so much in school, and then it's like go figure it out. So it's nice to have help from someone to be mentored. And so, what do you think? Oh, and by the way, you're retiring this year.
Yes, I am.
I don't know if we spilled the beans or not, but where do you see education going from this point? Is it going to be there's no teachers and just AI, something going on, or what?
I don't think it'll ever be all AI, because AI can't look over a kid's shoulder and say, hey, you did that wrong. This is what you need to correct. Do you understand why this is not what you're doing? Unless they have robots or something that can do that. I don't know. Because I think there will always be teachers, because even if you're not a teacher in a class, you're a teacher at home with your kids. I mean, you're teaching your kids all the time.
And see, that was something that I grew up on the East Coast, Upper East Coast, and I never heard of homeschooling. And that's kind of like a real big deal here.
Yes.
I guess maybe in the central part of the country, that it was like, okay, I've met more than I ever would have imagined that were homeschooled.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, there are great homeschool teachers, and then there are some that are not so great.
Yeah, something went really wrong there.
Yes.
So, you've been a teacher for 40 years. What is your reflection on that? What's overall?
I would never have chose another profession. I love teaching. I mean, even as I retire, it's like I could still teach much longer if I wanted to. It's something I hate to leave, but I'm going to, because I want to spend time with my husband.
There you go. Yeah. So what's next? What are you going to do? You're going to travel? You're going to drive your husband nuts? What?
Probably both. I would like to travel. I want to spend more time with my husband, doing things that that we like
Any
to do.
grandchildren yet?
No grandchildren yet.
Okay, get busy. Come on.
Yeah, you tell them, not me. I want to spend, I read my Bible every day. I would like to spend more time in my Bible and being able to study it more. Just doing things that I like to do, arts and crafts, those kind of things. And I don't know what else. I mean, whatever God has for me to do, I guess.
The first day of retirement. Now what?
Yeah. Now what? Because I do that on weekends. I should be doing something. Yeah, I think I'll do nothing today.
I don't feel like it. I get it. Yeah, the dishes can wait.
Yep.
That is
Bert
fun.
does my dishes, so that's
You have them well trained. Yes.
Yeah,
So, and he's been retired for a while, hasn't he?
He's been retired a year.
Yep.
So,
Okay. Good deal.
Yeah, it is good because he does my dishes. He cleans my house.
Wow.
I come home. I do have to make supper most days. No.
So is there anything you'd like to say to current and past children that you've taught?
That it has really been a pleasure. I mean, even if I had to get onto you lots or I didn't, I enjoyed teaching you. That, I love all of them. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's some that you want to thump their heads every day, but at the same time, it's like I wouldn't give them up for anything there.
Yep. Wow. Well, congratulations on 40 years with Hennessey Schools, and appreciate you hanging out with us. I know the clock is ticking. So when is like your last day? Is it May something?
It's May something. I don't know exactly when.
Oh, I would have had it written on the wall. Yeah.
Like I said, I love teaching, so when it gets here, it'll be here.
The last day you check out and get your box.
Yep.
And have the yard sale.
Yeah, have the yard sale.
Well, thank you so much for hanging out with us.
Oh,
Good luck on your retirement, and
thank you.
Stay tuned.